All right, we're here with our BNI Business of the Week. BNI, B-N-I.
Yeah, make sure you're really enunciating.
I do, because when we go back through these interviews and I'm looking at the transcript, he thinks I'm saying multiple things.
Yeah.
I'm never BNI, but BNI, Business Networking International, Business of the Week, our Innovator of Daybreak.
That's right.
Jim Stephenson.
Yes, Jim Stephenson.
With Stephenson Restoration. Now, Jim, we already know some of the stuff about you. And
we've been doing our research, Jim.
We have, and I'm like already ready to skip to some stuff. I'm like ready to skip to the cool story shows. But yes, tell us first up, just what is it you do? Because I think I asked you this question one of the first in a minute. Mm-hmm. What does a restoration person do?
What is restoration? Yeah. Well, it's simply put, it's just disaster cleanup and putback. We are, when disasters happen, whether it's a flood, fire, mold, even trauma, God forbid there's some kind of a crime scene cleanup or anything like that. We do the cleanup of it and remediate against mold or any of those other hazards, and then we build it all back to return it back to pre-loss. Or if you want, we can also improve on it while we've got it open.
Yeah, because why not? Like if I want that game room in my basement,
we're talking about that game room a couple times now. Yeah, you're really putting it out there for 2025.
I'm trying to have a game room.
No, but that's nice that because maybe that's not always the case, or people don't realize that. So not only are you just putting it back together, sometimes you can improve upon as well.
Yep.
You've seen it all. I'm sure you've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot. I've seen from the crapper fan. The fan above the toilet explodes, falls down, breaks the toilet, and so you've got the fire, but the fire gets put out because the toilet breaks and the water goes up and puts out the fire, but then you've got a water loss, and so then the water floods the basement. So you had kind of a fire loss,
multiple
water loss,
going on there.
Yeah. So I've seen that. I've seen some pretty nasty stuff too.
Yeah.
And then I've seen some really simple, hey, the bathtub overflowed or went into over the tile and into the hallway. Okay, simple, quick, and easy.
I still can't get over that other one there you talked about.
Which one?
The one with the water and the fire putting itself out. You know what that is? You know what that is? That's the circle of life. That's what that is. Right. That's the circle of life. Just kidding.
That's crazy circumstances. Like probably
one in a million.
One in a million sound like less than even being struck by lightning.
Right? Yeah, right.
You're the lucky. You won the lottery on that one.
So you mentioned crime scenes. Like you do. You're not doing crime scene cleanup. This is like after
the crime scene cleanup after the police have been there.
Yes.
Don't call me to clean up your crime scene.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Clarification's important on that one, Jim.
Exactly.
So, what exactly do you clean up now?
Yeah. All right. I've got about an hour before they discover the body.
Oh, hey. Well, I've been involved in a prank phone call, Big Boy's phone tap out there that we did do that. So
sure.
That's something out there. But restoration for you. When did it hit you that you were like, you know what? Because that's not something like you hear. I've said this to other people. You don't grow up saying in your elementary school when you're asked, what do you want to be? I didn't even know what it was now. Why did I say that I was going to be a restoration?
Yeah.
So when did it hit you that you wanted to be in this field?
So I like helping people. I like being able to I relish the opportunity to help others. Mm-hmm. And so I'd done this a little bit in high school, just as a high school job.
Sure.
And then a little bit into college. And then I went into law enforcement to, again, help others. And then when it, needed to supplement the income a bit, I decided to fall back on what I knew from high school. So I started this business with my father, and it started doing well enough that it looked more appealing than the law enforcement, and people tend to be happier to see me. So I decided that it was time to make the switch, and so now I'm able to go in and be able to help people out, and I kind of relish the opportunity.
Do you see the flip-flop, like the yin and yang of that? Of what he went, the law enforcement, where
to the other side.
Most of the time, if you see the law enforcement, it's going to ruin your day, at least. Like something's not good. He came in to be the one, saying, like, we're about to rebuild and make your life better. Like that's, what did that do internally, though?
Well, it made it a lot easier for my home life. There's a lot of stress when you're in law enforcement. Going home with that and being able to shut it off is very difficult. And I think everyone in law enforcement will tell you it's very difficult to shut that off.
Sure.
And so I think when I switched to something where my interactions with people were 99% positive, where I'm turning their mountain into a molehill. I'm showing them that we can fix it. It's going to be okay. I can remember ladies crying and calling me and she's like, please, I don't know what to do. And I said, I will be there as fast as I can. I get there, take care of it, and I feel so wonderful to help them in that situation. Contrast that, of course, to in law enforcement, where you still have opportunities to help people. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. You also get a lot who are saying all sorts of, really true things for you just doing your job. And
totally.
Like, I got to do what I got to. I'm sorry, but it's a lot.
I mean, you kind of hit it right there. Like, is that what motivates you? Is there other stuff that motivates maybe your big picture, maybe your day to day? What are your motivations?
Well, my family is a big part of my motivations. I just want to be able to provide for my family.
That's clear. Yes.
And I want to, but I want to leave them something that they can work with as well. And building a company allows that opportunity. And I'm building it with my father, which is something hugely important to me. I idolize my dad. So. And then being able to build with him is wonderful.
We found out a little bit about your dad. Like I said, we did some digging.
And we'll get to that. But you've got a son, but you got your son.
No, we're going to get to that right now.
No, but I wanted to say that.
He is such a family guy.
Business, we literally, I believe you brought your son to our BNI meeting today, which is at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays at the DCC.
Yeah.
Cheap plug, I had to do that. But you brought him in.
Yeah, he was
and he stood up in front of everybody.
13 years old.
13? Is that right?
Yeah.
13.
What's his name?
Liam.
Oh,
yeah.
Liam Neeson. See that? No, I like that. That's a power name. Mm-hmm. So Liam is standing up in front of, 40 people? Gotta be nerve-wracking. Yeah. And basically says that his goal and his dream is to continue the family business. Like, you had to have been like, oh. You either melted or you were like, oh, I don't know about that. It was
maybe a little bit of both in there.
Once you can keep the lizard alive while thinking about keeping the company alive. No.
But that had to make you feel proud. Like right there on the spot. Because you said that you look up to your dad and you want to talk about his dad.
No. I was going, you and I were aligned there. We really wanted to talk about how family oriented you are, and that was such a powerful moment. So thank you for bringing that up in BNI today. It was so impactful, and 13 years old. I mean, I wish I had that ability at 13 years old. But diving into the family business and next generation, your dad started this company. It sounds like you kind of took over.
Actually, we
grew it together?
We grew it together.
Okay.
We both went into it. He's been an entrepreneur all his life, from Big O tire stores. He started in Las Vegas. Pretty much, he started, I think, 11 different Big O tire stores in Las Vegas. And then he went to the corporate world, and he also started several other businesses, paint and drywall, and lending companies. And so he's done quite a bit. And so...
And an author. I'm going to throw that in there.
He's an author.
Look at Swiss Art. Like he's got all this stuff.
That's about it. Well, he's the one that convinced me to make sure I always carry one.
Oh, see? Look at that.
Yeah. And we carry the soupier stuff.
He's over here pulling out.
Swiss
Art. But see, I know about. I want to ask.
Oh my goodness! He's got the book.
I want to know about this Wes Stephenson. This guy's handsome. Handsome.
I wish I'd gotten that. Yeah. You'll be glad to hear that. Wes, don't let your head get too big.
Now, check this out, though, because chapter 17, there's an incredible story.
Yes.
That Wes, that's your father, sets up about this crazy. It's basically the what you call it, the perfect rendezvous. Mm-hmm. Now,
so molded on a motorcycle. We want to call that out, a writer's journey. Mm-hmm. So we do want to call that out. What book it is?
There is a very complex issue that happens in day 10.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 17 here.
Kind of mid-ride.
And someone by the name of Mitch comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
Now, who is Mitch?
So Mitch is actually my middle name, and so my family knows me by that. They called me that, and the reason was actually not to confuse me with the original Big Jim, which was my grandfather.
Okay.
And so I took on Big Jim title, it kind of an homage to my grandfather.
Wow.
anyway, in the book I'm referred to as Mitch. And so what had happened there in the book is they were drawing more toward the end of the journey, but they still had quite a few states left to capture on this epic of 48 states in 10 days was the goal.
Wow.
And my brother and my dad and I thought it would be so cool. I wasn't able to join them from the start of it, but I thought it would be so cool to surprise my dad by joining him for the end of it. And so I coordinated with my brother and my mom to meet them in Rapid City, right? So my brother's secretly trying like crazy to get them to Rapid City.
Yeah.
And so they're just tearing as fast as they can to get there in time, because I've now gotten there, but it's like 11 o'clock at night. And I was riding as hard as I could all day from here in Salt Lake to get there.
Yeah.
Going to Wyoming and everything. And so I'm riding on my Suzuki, and they're on a BMW and a Harley they had bought the day before to replace a bike that had given up the ghost mid-ride.
Yeah.
So they happened to buy a bike the day before just for it. Well, it turns out the battery's bad. Right? So they're discovering that in a little town called Kadoka. And so they get stranded there, and it's like it's the end of the ride. They're stranded. There's nothing they can do. In the
After they already just had this hiccup, and
hiccup after hiccup.
Let me interject here, because that's the biggest plug for Kadoka that's ever been out there right here. The fact that we mentioned it right here. We put them on the map. You got the three of you out there. You're happy. You're welcome. Yeah, you're happy. Yeah, no.
For three of you out there, two of you are in the story.
Continue that.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So they're there, and my brother, he's got me on the phone and hands it over to my dad and says, Mitch can help. And he's thinking, how can he help out in Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Dad, I found you a battery. It's in Rapid City. And I'll have it to you in an hour and a half. He's thinking, what? And I'm like, I'm in Rapid City.
Oh my word!
And he was just floored by that. And so I was able to get the battery and take off to him. Of course, it had to be a little more dramatic than that. There was actually a lightning storm that I had to ride through, and I was a little too obsessed with helping him to think necessarily about the fact that I'm 6'4" in a lightning storm on a motorcycle in the middle of the plains.
Oh my God.
No trees or nothing.
Big
I'm thinking,
metal object.
I probably should have thought this through. Yeah. But yeah, I was able to get there and get the battery in the bike, and we were able to continue the ride, and it was just a miracle that on top of many miracles that had occurred during the ride, and something I relished the opportunity and relished the chance to be part of the story to that point.
This speaks volumes to who you guys are as a family, just generationally. Like, you just even brought in your grandfather, and that you took on that name. There's a lot in that, right? When your grandpa has that name, and it's the big Jim, big shoes to fill, I'm sure. So, just amazing story all around. I know, just in the short time we've known you, what a family guy you are.
And if you want to hear how the rest of that book ends, you got to buy it.
Yes.
Go purchase that book.
If you want to, you can listen to it on Audible. My dad actually is the one reading it on Audible.
That's awesome.
So you want Wes to narrate it to you.
We'll get a shot of this on
cool
that.
bike. What kind of bike is that? That's an Indian.
That's actually an electric glide, a Harley Davidson electric glide.
And look at this picture right here.
Yeah.
Now, you see this picture? That's after he gets the battery.
Oh, look how relieved. Oh my God.
So in the book, he says, he hugged me like I'd liberated Paris. So, I like that line. My dad's a good author. I like I said, I idolize him. I memorize his poems and everything.
We saw some of those writing skills don't fall, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, because we saw those writing skills today. Or last night, actually, when you typed that up. So I was like, where'd Jim come from? I didn't know he was an author. So creative, so fun. Do you write on the side?
No.
Okay, you have a talent there.
Well, I have a talent when I have my dad help me.
There it is.
Take your time to make sure your communications are accurate.
Yeah.
And that's tying back to even restoration. When you're doing your communications and restoration, you got to make sure everything is articulately put, so as to with insurance to help to make sure it's covered and everything. Anyway, it's I rely heavily on his wordsmithing abilities.
Did a great job.
Oh, yeah. You know,
I do have a confession here.
Go ahead.
I know a little bit about Jim's industry.
Okay.
Because I worked in it at one time. Y'all didn't know this.
Look at this.
I know. I've never even talked about.
I want to hear this.
So, you have a lot of pull and connection with the trades, right? Because you are essentially, when a disaster happens, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces that are going on during that. You've got your demo crew. You've got, your electricians, plumbers, this perfectly orchestrated crew that comes in to take care of this. Well, my aunt, you talked a little bit how you got into restoration. My aunt had a cleanup. She was a cleanup crew for cleaning services, every nook and cranny, for restoration companies. So I don't know if your cross have ever passed. Your paths have ever crossed.
Crosses ever passed.
Speaking about communication, spit it out today.
Yeah.
But it is hard work. So first off, I just wanted to say kudos to what you do, because it is a lot of work. Mm-hmm. Things that you don't even think about in restoration because of all the moving parts and pieces. Mm-hmm. But also, just in general, what you do in taking care of people. We made that really nice and smooth when we were talking about that earlier. But it can be stressful.
I bet. I mean,
there's a lot of emotion in that. And it takes a special person to get in there and navigate the emotional side, the physical loss, and then an entire crew that comes in. So we really want people and our listeners out there to understand what this guy really does. He's a miracle worker.
It can be very tough. You got to think, any of these events, they're basically an invasion of your home.
Exactly. There you go.
Invaded.
Your life is turned upside down. Total chaos.
And you're wondering, because everyone's always heard horror stories about insurance companies. I mean, it's practically the theme of almost every movie these days. Right. And so they're just so worried about it. And it's just nice. We've got a lady in our office, section aunt. Nepotism strong. But she has years of experience in the, she'll be mad at me for using the word years so emphatically. But no, she has years of experience, and we call her our insurance whisperer. She is really good at making sure the communication is so clear between the insurance, between the insured, and making it so that people understand your insurance is there to help you. Your insurance is there on your side. Mm-hmm. And so we want to find the best way to find that solution.
It can sometimes not feel that way when you're in the midst of a disaster, right?
Yeah,
the last person you want to be arguing with is that insurance claim. Mm-hmm. So that's amazing that you really streamlined that. You had some.
No, I'm saying I'm going to go into this because we're talking business already.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You looking for, we have our own insurance and stuff like that, but that's a great referral for somebody like you, or a great partner within a BNI.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes.
BNI, what has it done for you? I know you were already a member of another chapter, so you've got some more
experience.
I've had some experience
on it than we have. So what has it done for you?
It's done a ton, Ned. So I joined at the very end of 2000. I think it was 2022. Okay. And so for 2023 and 2024, I had BNI referrals. And through networking and BNI work and also, some other efforts we were having, but I've seen a triple in my business, triple in our employees, went from me in a van to me and 13 employees. Yeah. And I've got 4 vehicles. I've got guys running on crews right now.
Yeah.
And it's been a phenomenal experience, and it's connected me with people who, I never would have connected with before. One thing I love about the BNI is that your chapter, you hold the seat for that, right? And there's no one else in that seat. And there are your golden geese, like your insurance agents, your plumbers, these people who you can both refer to and get referrals from around it. But there's only one of them in that chapter as far as the P&C.
Yep.
But the BNI allows you access to a much larger network of other chapters. Yeah. And I have met with members of chapters all over northern Utah, and I regularly play golf with a friend of mine from a chapter in the northern Utah. It's escaping my mind, from our Ogden area.
Yeah.
But he and I regularly play golf, and he sends me work, and I try and send him people in the area who are looking for stuff. You try and send things according to the areas in which you're working, but it's incredible what the greater network can do if you take advantage of it. Because anyone who's tried to network before, in like, let's say if you're even like a realtor trying to talk to a rental office, like, hey, if anyone's looking to buy a house, right, tell me, you just walk in, they're like, yeah, put your card on the desk, thanks, bye.
Yeah,
right?
That's it.
In the stack of the rest of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I already forgot your name at the door hitch on that.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But if you call and say, hey, I'm such and such, I'm also a member of the BNI, let's sit down, have lunch, and let's meet. Mm-hmm. They will sit, they will talk, they will learn about your business, and you will learn about theirs. And there's 100% more chance of getting a referral. I mean, it's way, way more likely.
That just happened to me, actually. Now you said that, I invited a cleaning person to come to our chapter.
Yep.
She writes back, oh, I just joined the BNI chapter at such and such. Let's do a one-on-one. Let's meet, and that's our process now.
Yeah.
But I thought that was super cool, and now you related it to each other.
Yeah.
This thing is magic. Dr. Ivan Meisner knew what he's doing, I guess.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Well, I do. I really do want to dive in and unpack that just a little bit, because he went into so many things. So your business growth, you can really state like, hey, this was because of BNI.
Every year tripled.
It tripled. 2 referrals, that tripled. 3 friendships, right? And I mean, that's it. Initially you meet each other and you're acquaintances, and then you build trust, and then it becomes a friendship, and then it becomes collaboration, referrals, connection there. So really, really impactful what that's done for you personally.
Yes, it is. It has been huge for me. And even not just like, for my business, but also for me personally. Interactions. I'm a bit of a millennial, so I played video games a fair amount, and it was a great escape in law enforcement. So my social skills weren't always the best.
Sure.
But one of the great things this has brought out is my ability to interact and get to know people, and I'm blown away by a lot of the interactions that I've had and the people I've gotten to know and the stories that they have. Just I feel so much more enriched just by the people that I now know. And then, of course, it has helped my business a ton as well, which is of course, we're all in business to make money, right? So y'all want to grow, but it's been wonderful. And I'm a fervent fan of BNI.
That's awesome.
Before we get out of here with you, with BNI in your back pocket now, you got that tool. What's next for your business? Like, what do you see? What do you want to do? You want to grow? What do you see in the next year, 5 years, 10 years?
Our goal for this year is a little close to basically triple of last year. We want to continue on that trend. Our plan to make that happen is expansion of services. We plan to get into meth cleanup. Where we currently don't right now. We just refer it out.
Big problem in Utah, y'all.
Yes. And across the world, really.
Yes.
And we also plan to expand our footprint as well. Right now, we have one main office and then multiple crews, but we're looking to have a satellite office here in Salt Lake, and then another couple crews with their own vehicles at their homes so they can respond instantly throughout strategic places. Because right now I'll go anywhere from Nephi to Logan, I'm just about anywhere.
I was just going to ask you that. Okay.
You have a flood or disaster. I go to Park City quite regularly. Okay. And I go up there, and of course my assessments are always free. I'll show up and be like, all right, so here's where it is. I'll use my thermal camera, show them where all the moisture is, and that way I can let them know, all right, here's where it is, here's the layers that are affected, here's how those dry and at what rate, and here's the rate at which mold grows.
Wow.
Is what we need to do.
Please.
And then if they want my help, I'm happy to help them. If they're using insurance, I'll work with any insurance. But also, I'm not stingy with my opinions. I'm happy as well if someone just wants to know, hey, I'm just going to try and do this myself. How do I do that? I'll tell them now.
Yeah.
I've written up whole reports of, all right, here's the things you're going to want to buy and do to follow the standards out there in the industry.
I'll help you with the education on them, too.
Yep. Happy to talk.
So powerful.
Well, you got any more questions for him? Or is there anything you'd like
anything that you would like to touch on that we didn't maybe hit on today?
No, I feel like we've kind of touched on everything. I'm just grateful to be here, be on the show. I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, again, my assessments are free. It's not like I don't do indoor environmental testing, which is testing of for mold spores.
Okay.
I do refer that out.
Okay.
But I do have companies that can do that. But I do visual inspections and make plans for remediation. And of course, I have all the moisture meters necessary, including the thermal cameras and invasive and non-invasive moisture meters to be able to find it even under tile. So
really your ideal client or referral, if somebody is noticing moisture in their house or something, like they can call you and say, Jim, I'm thinking this is what I'm seeing. Come out and take a look at this for me. Help me navigate next steps. You've got all the tools and resources to help them do that. Mm-hmm. Who else are kind of your ideal clients? You've had a major disaster.
indeed.
Just so that we can be apprised of that too for you.
Yeah. Ideal clients are individuals who've even major or even minor disasters. If they've had water, even, kids spilled it over the bathtub or kept it running and it went over and it went out into the hall and they quickly just tried to towel it up.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's taken care of. That's a good client for me because, again, I'll come out and I'll make sure it actually is taken care of. Because you never know. Water is really insidious. It gets inside of everything.
Yeah.
And so you gotta watch for that. And so I can be able to determine that, give them the peace of mind to know that it's taken care of properly.
Yeah.
And like I said, just assessing that is free. So those, of course, if you have a fire, God forbid.
Smoke is the same way.
Smoke
gets into everything and everywhere. Yeah.
So you want that odor gone. You need to have it properly removed. And like I said, I'd work with every insurance. I'm on several insurances programs. So by all means, give me a call.
Appreciate that.
Really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Jim Stephenson Restoration. That's the business name. Stephenson Restoration. Big Jim, Mitch. What other names we got out there? But you are an innovator of Daybreak, part of the BNI, which meets 9 a.m. at the DCC on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Get out there because really it is some just authentic, real, organic.
We often get the question, can you come and visit if you're yes.
This is your
invitation.
This is it. But yeah, it is. It's just genuine relationships. So appreciate you coming in. Can't wait to see what you do, where you go.
Thanks, Jim.
And if you do come to visit, by the way, I often end up giving referrals to the visitors. Like even today, I'm like, wait, I know someone who can use your service. Hold on, you stick around. Come back next week. I've got someone for you to meet. So
absolutely, givers game. That's what we're all about. So come and see us.